Hello, my name is Timothytrespas, and I'm a human being who has found himself targeted, gang-stalked, harassed with electronic harassment technology, infected with a disease people are calling Morgellons, forced to move 14 times in 4 years or 5 years, basically tormented, tortured, made very ill, and anyway, so yesterday I returned home to my boat, and I've been here now, a year going on August, and nobody has ever come aboard my boat uninvited. When I returned home, I noticed that somebody had broken into my boat, and they had smashed this wood here that holds the sliding wood on, and they had ripped this wood off on this side, broken it off. Not after trying to smash this lock off with a brick. The lock didn't break, thankfully, but then they realized it was easier just to smash this wooden thing, so they smashed off the wooden thing. They ripped this out and left it open. They went into the boat and they looked through everything. Thankfully, nothing was taken, nothing that I've noticed, except I did notice that up on the shore they took the pump that I used to pump up the dinghy with the little adapter thingy on it that you can't pump it up without, and one of the oars. But as far as, I thought, oh God, here we go, but nothing was taken. The frightening thing was that when I noticed, I used to keep my generator right here, and they had flipped the generator upside down. It was laying on the deck here, and the gasoline was spilling out. And in this compartment here, I keep some old safety flares that are expired. I just had gotten them the day before, and one of those safety flares was taken out. The bag was taken out, and it was left on the deck. Now, I looked around and noticed that it wasn't just my boat that had broken into. It was also that boat there. They had broken the same thing, smashed off the wood, pulled off the bottom panel, left it open. And this boat here, behind me, they had done the same thing, smashed off the top panel, broken it open, left it open. Now, I don't know whether anything was taken from these other boats. They're not mine. But it took me a moment to realize when I called my friend Chris, who has a couple of boats down the end. He said, yeah, it's probably those guys, those jerks down the end, the ones who locked the gate on me and somehow have blamed me for a motor went missing from his boat, supposedly. And somehow I became, the most likely suspect. Why, I don't know. I've never taken anything from anybody here, except stuff that's been left on the shore for a year or more, for months and months and months. So, and, junk, firewood. Anyway, so somehow these people have decided I must be everything that's wrong in their world. And there's really not much I can do about it, because I'm not going to physically attack them. I'm not going to retaliate. What am I going to do? I tried talking with them reasonably. I got threatened, abused, screamed at, told to, that I can't use the pathway that I've been using for months and months. And they put up barbed wire and shit so I can't climb over the fence. They're really idiots. I'm sorry, because, if I get in trouble for trespassing over there, you think it's not going to bring more attention to everybody who's over here? Anyway, my hope was that the people in these other boats would somehow be outraged and big and strong and, find justice for me, but obviously that's not going to happen. It is nice to think that hopefully they've pissed off, 3 or 4 other people, and the more people they piss off, the less likely I am to be blamed. I don't know. It's ridiculous. But so what I did was I spent the last 2 days reinforcing this here with metal so that you can't just rip it off. You need a crowbar. You have to be determined. And although they were determined, I don't know how determined they were, they did get in because it was simple to get in. And I'm glad that they didn't, or weren't able, or didn't try to smash the fiberglass. Although they left me a frightening message. They didn't do too much damage, and they didn't take too much. I was grateful that. Anyway, so this is my life. I'm busy struggling to survive, and struggling to make ends meet, and struggling to get back and forth and stay out of trouble, and trying to find another place to be that so far I have not found one that has access to the road that I need to go to every day. A bunch of other things in my life I've been trying to change without much luck or help from doctors and such. It's really sort of been a nightmare. But that's another story. I've tried to talk about happy things and pleasant moments in my life, but the truth is there aren't that many of them. Petra is suffering terribly from this voice to skull. They never leave her alone, and she's becoming more and more psychotic and delusional and angry and difficult, and I'm really sort of at a loss for what to do, and do my best, even though she drives me crazy sometimes. It's sad, very sad. This whole thing is just very sad. Anyway, that's my story, and I thank you all for watching. I thank you for your prayers, for your comments, and your occasional donations. It really does make a difference in my life. Hopefully the next video will be about happy things. I don't know if I've mentioned, I did all kinds of work. I put up these poles here. I got one left to do. I put this little rain canvas up, and I built this little thing here that has sliding plastic, windows, so that when the other thing is in front and this thing's not here, you can sort of keep the wind out of your face. I haven't quite figured the whole thing out, but there it is. Such as it is. I was looking at another boat, 30-foot Seidelman boat that this man who is basically injured and probably may end up in a wheelchair is trying to sell, and the price is just ridiculous. One's like $700-800 for it, but so far I haven't been able to sell my other boat, although I came kind of close. I think the guy just couldn't really quite cope with living here and hadn't figured out where else to live. Of course, the other boat has a toilet on it with a tank, and those things always stink. So I think I'm gonna rip that out if I can figure out how to pump the sludge out of there without hurting myself. Tear it out, just sell it as it is. It's a really nice boat, the other boat, Anyway, we'll see what happens. God willing. You guys have a great day, and God bless you all. Take care.